Hi, Collective. I'm Ancient, and I have a message for you all. There's a lot of energies coming around you, okay? A lot of intense energies coming around you, people who are attracted to you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into this message. We have the 10 of Cups here. I feel like someone thought distance would help them forget you. The first energy coming through is someone who believed that walking away would make everything easier. They convinced themselves that if they stayed busy, if they focused on work, if they met new people, um, if they pretended nothing had happened, eventually their feelings for you would disappear. But that's not what happened. Instead, instead the silence became louder, the distance and the distractions stop working. The places they visited remind them of you. The songs they once ignored suddenly carried your memory. This person underestimated the depth of your connection. They thought time would erase it. Instead, time just revealed how they truly feel. The lesson you were never meant to learn. Some of you have spent so much energy trying to understand why they couldn't choose you. What if their inability to choose had nothing to do with your worth? There are people who deeply desire healthy love, but subconsciously feel more comfortable with emotional distance, not because they don't care, but because closeness exposed the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. And when it comes to you, you represent honesty. You represent growth, commitment, healing. And for someone who wasn't ready, that felt overwhelming. But you were not too much. You simply arrived before they were emotionally prepared. The door is quietly closing. This surprises me. We got the Eight of Wands. There's like a door closing, not slamming, not locked, just gently closing is what I'm seeing. It's happening because you're changing. You're no longer trying to convince people to stay. You're no longer carrying relationships by yourself. You're beginning to understand something powerful, that love should feel mutual, not exhausting. The version of you that accepted inconsistency is fading away. And that's something to celebrate truly, because every boundary you created has made room for something healthier to enter. All right, let's see what else is coming through. Wow. The Two of Cups. Someone is about to realize they waited too long. Yeah, they waited too long. There's a strong feeling of urgency around someone connected to your energy. They're beginning to realize that life continued without them. You smiled again, you laughed again, you started dreaming again. For some of you, you're talking to someone else, you're talking to other people. Um, for a while, they believe your heart would always remain open to them. They truly believe that. Now they're questioning whether they've missed their chance. And the universe is saying sometimes people don't recognize a blessing until they see it blessing someone else. It almost feels like they needed to actually fumble you to actually get it, to get the lesson, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to go back. Whether this person reaches out or not, this realization is something significant. It is already changing them, and sometimes that part of their soul's lesson is not yours. The love you've been asking for, it isn't too far away here with the Two of Cups. The focus is being shifted on you because your story isn't about someone else's regret, it's about your future. I see a connection approaching that feels peaceful. No emotional roller coaster, no wondering where you stand, no decoding text messages, no questioning whether You are enough. Instead, yeah, this is coming in quick. We have the Nine of Wands and the Emperor. Instead, there are conversations that flow naturally. Laughter that feels effortless, a person who remembers the little things, someone who chooses consistency over intensity. And here's the beautiful part. At first, you may not even trust it because chaos taught you to expect uncertainty. Wow. But healing teaches you to recognize safety. So don't run from peace just because it feels unfamiliar. The message, that's the message that you need to tell yourself. Yeah, the Page of Cups. There is something coming in. There's a message to your future self, and your future self wants you to hear this. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. The universe invites you to picture that version of yourself. You're smiling. That version of yourself feels lighter. You're no longer, excuse me, no longer checking your phone, hoping someone finally changes, no longer replaying old conversations. Instead, you're living your life, loving and growing. Looking back at this season with compassion instead of pain, that future already exists. You're simply walking toward it, and one step at a time. You just need to grab at it. What else is coming through? There's a plan here. Eight of Pentacles in the Eight of Swords. Not every person who leaves your life is a punishment. Sometimes they're making room for the love that won't um disappoint you. You were never meant to spend your life convincing someone to recognize your value. As I stated before, the people meant for you won't require constant persuasion. They'll recognize your heart, protect your heart, and choose your heart again and again. What else is coming through? We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the queen of groundedness, the Tower. Something very unexpected is coming. This person is going to change the dynamic of how you see relationships. It's something that you need, it's something to wake you up. The Hangman. You're going to see something very different. The Moon, major realization here. The Queen of Cups. A connection where you can be yourself, you can feel loved and be loved properly. You're not going to see any red flags with this connection, except it is going to startle you because you're used to the chaos. You're used to something being wrong. If that makes sense. You're used to something being wrong with someone. But this time is different. Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about change, significant change. Talking about the Wheel of Fortune. And this is Temperance. The change is about peace, you being at peace, and the universe sending a connection into your life that will feel like a peaceful connection. It won't feel chaotic. If there's any chaos, it's not the person. And your job here is to recognize that, to pay attention to your gut, because there could be other energies coming around you before this person finally enters into your life. But when they do, they bring in temperance. Could be a Sagittarius, don't have to be, but they come in with temperance, very peaceful and calm energy. Things are going to flow naturally with this person. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon.